Welcome back to Road to Fire. We're a family of three documenting our journey to FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Let's chat about our dividend portfolio update. I haven't done an update in over 6 months, but I'll provide details on our stock picks, our strategy, and our current holdings with all real numbers like always, so please hang with me. The goal is to receive $750 in dividends a month. Right now, we're averaging about $250 a month, and that is heavily driven by our index funds such as VTSAX. But my biggest issue is that our dividends right now are mainly paid out on a quarterly basis versus monthly. It's not a huge deal, but I'd like to work to build a taxable portfolio that gives us monthly income, especially when we reach early retirement. Long-term dividend income is our second biggest focus area when it comes to building long-term passive income. I unfortunately am very new to dividend investing in stocks, and I just started dabbling in it last summer, so I have a lot of catching up to do. But we have created a good start. Outside of drop shipping and royalties, I feel that dividend income is probably the purest form of passive income because you literally get paid while you sleep. So what are dividends? A dividend is a distribution of some of a company's earnings to a class of its shareholders as determined by the company's board of directors. Basically, a company shares its profits with you or the shareholders. Your payout is based on how many shares you own. The number one goal of a company is to keep their shareholders happy, MBA 101. But so many companies continue to work hard to increase their dividend payouts year over year. These companies are usually known as dividend aristocrats. These are companies that consistently raise dividends for the past 25 years. We have a few in our portfolio, but need to add a few more as well. So our dividend portfolio is in our taxable brokerage account, which represents a tiny percentage of our entire investment portfolio. This graph shows our portfolio as of last month, and I'm working on a May portfolio update, probably going live early next week. Right now, our dividend portfolio is about 1% of our total portfolio, which is not ideal. We would love for this to be a bigger part of our portfolio, and that means I need to shift index fund dollars to individual stocks, which is a little scary for me, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. But keep in mind that many of these dividend aristocrats are long-term established companies, so it's not like I'm investing in a new startup, but there is still more risk than with an index fund. So here are the most common types of dividends. First are cash dividends. Companies generally pay these type of dividends in cash directly into the shareholder's brokerage account. This is what most people think of when they say dividends. Then there are stock dividends. Instead of paying cash, companies can also pay investors with additional shares of stock. Now, I've seen this done as compensation packages when starting a new job, usually given to those at the executive level. And then there are dividend reinvestment programs. Investors in these programs, or DRIPs, can reinvest any dividend received back into the company's stock, often at a discount. There are also special and preferred dividends that are not as common these days, but I still want to call them out as well. Cash dividends is our goal and focus, as this will help us supplement our income as we transition out of traditional work into recreational work or early retirement. Okay, let's review our current dividend portfolio. We have it broken out into 2 sections: our dividends within our Vanguard account, so our IRAs, Roths, and our lead brokerage account, and then our portfolio, which we will review today, outside of our Vanguard accounts. This portfolio is currently in our Robinhood account, but we're looking to move this money soon. We currently receive most of our dividends from our index funds, but we want to start building a traditional dividends portfolio outside of our retirement accounts. I created this portfolio last year, but to be 100% honest, I haven't paid enough attention to it as our priorities have shifted and changed. But now we are back on it. Keep in mind, numbers are through the 15th of June, and all dividends are currently being reinvested back into the market. Okay, here's our dividend portfolio. I've never looked at our portfolio this way before, but after watching Dave from Hidden Freedom Investing, I made some adjustments. I absolutely love how he walks through a 6-figure dividend portfolio as it's so easy to follow. So I invest in sectors or companies that I know. In fact, I've probably worked, interviewed, or know someone who's worked in almost all of these companies. If you don't know, I've worked in the ag, consumer packaged good, energy, and financial sectors, so you can see a lot of the stocks are in these spaces. I won't go line by line, but the bulk of our money is in the following 4 stocks: AT&T, IBM, Exxon, and Coke. I will share the link to our first dividend portfolio update last year, which outlines why we chose these stocks, but it's quite obvious. They are tried and true dividend stocks. O and Gain were stock suggestions by this community here, as I was looking to add more monthly paying stocks into the pool. The remaining stocks are new, thus the low value, and I'm working to build their value up in the near future. Again, these are dividend paying stocks outside of our retirement accounts and index funds. We do also hold Wells Fargo within our Vanguard account. Our projected annual income based on where we are today is just over $140, which is low, but it's still something. And right now, our total dividend portfolio is just over $2,800. It's a start though. So here's a pie chart outlining the industries we chose to invest in within this portfolio. It is weighted by market value. Diversification is key when stock picking, even with dividend stocks. I really wanted to make sure I was looking at stocks across all different sectors. Surprisingly enough, our portfolio is relatively balanced. Again, I focused on the sectors that I know and understand and believe in. I know though in the coming years, this graph will definitely shift and change over time. So stock picking is not something I'm good at. I'm an absolutely lazy investor. But here are the top things I look at when reviewing a new dividend stock, among many other things. Disclaimer like always, I'm not a financial advisor and this video is intended for entertainment purposes only and holds only my friendly thoughts and opinions. But if you're looking to make adjustments to your investments, consult a financial advisor. So here are the 5 things I look at. First, financial statements and metrics, particularly around debt and cash on hand. Then I look at the payout ratio, which is a given for all dividend stocks. I also then look at and review history or dividend raises over time. Number 4, I'm always curious about the competitive landscape and earnings over time. And last but not least, understanding the company's true value proposition and future innovation. These 5 areas help me get a good feel or grasp on the company's trajectory. Of course, there are many other things you can look at and review, but if the company can't pass these 5 initial steps for me, then I won't look any further. Okay, here's our dividends watch list in no particular order. I haven't done a lot of research on these companies, but most are well known. Again, I'm really working to create more diversification in our portfolio. Once we buy our second home, I will be able to focus more on our dividend portfolio, but right now, these are on our watch list, and we will shift a few $100s here or there to add these stocks into our portfolio. I always ask this, but please share your top 3 dividend paying stocks below in the comments that I don't currently have in my portfolio or on my watch list, just in case I'm missing some obvious ones. I am always learning from this community. You might see an obvious theme across my watch list, picks, and portfolio overall. Our portfolio currently sits within Robinhood, and that is going to change. Yes, I know Robinhood is the worst for several reasons, and I totally agree, but moving our money isn't that simple. We finally found a new platform that works well for us, and M1 Finance is it. I just joined M1 Finance and have a link below if you're interested in joining to start investing now. We will both get $30 once you deposit and invest your first $100, which can be used on any stock you choose. Now, there are 3 things I love about M1 Finance. First, you're able to create pies or sub-portfolios within your account, which is exactly what I want to do with our dividend portfolio. Example, right now I have a pie set up for each of my niece and nephews where I deposit money on their birthdays. Number 2, they automatically rebalance your account or reinvest within your given pie or portfolio, evenly distributing across each holding. And the last thing is pre-built portfolios, or the ability to share your pies with friends and family to help them get started in investing. Now I can't wait to make this switch over to M1 Finance and finally be done with Robinhood. So we hope to have at least $5,000 invested or about $300 in annual dividends. I know it's small, but it's a start. Our index funds and tax advantage accounts have produced about $250 in dividends reinvested monthly, but long term, I hope this account can outperform that. Right now, we have about $2,800 invested, so I can back into the dividend payout numbers and outline how many shares I need to hit our goal. But right now, we will continue to invest about $200 a month across these different stocks, with M1 Finance, of course. I will probably refine our strategy better once we get our house down payment out of the way and we're settled in, and we hope to move by the end of August, which is about 2 months away, so I'm excited to start growing this account. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Until next time.